Hello. As you may be aware, we have a risk of the norovirus spiking at the moment because of the recent floods that we've had, particularly in Somerset. Now, is there a solution to illness? Well, we have clear evidence that Jehovah God takes a keen interest in the health of mankind. Now, you might wonder, well, that's quite a bold statement to say, particularly with the risk of a norovirus at the moment. But our immune system, for example, provides striking proof of this concern. Many laws that Jehovah gave to ancient Israel revealed his desire to protect them from infectious diseases. Now, Jesus Christ, who reflects the personality of his Heavenly Father, likewise feels compassion for the sick. Now, how do we know this? Well, the Gospel of Mark describes Jesus' encounter with a man suffering from leprosy. Now, if you want to, he said, you can make me clean. Now, Jesus was filled with pity when he perceived the pain and suffering that man was going through. And he said, I do want to. Jesus answered, and he said, be clean. Now, you find that account in Mark chapter 1, verses 40 to 41. Now, Jesus' miraculous cures were not confined to a few individuals. The Gospel writer Matthew records that Jesus went out throughout the whole land of Galilee teaching and preaching the good news of the kingdom and curing every sort of disease and every sort of infirmity among the people. Now you find that in Matthew chapter 4, verse 23. His cures did not merely help the sick people of Judea and Galilee. Those healings give us a foretaste of how all kinds of disease will finally disappear when God's kingdom, about which Jesus preached, rules unopposed over mankind. Now, the Bible assures us that global health is not an impossible dream. The Apostle John foresaw the time when the tent of God would be with mankind. And as a result of this action on God's part, death will be no more. Neither will mourning, nor outcry, nor pain be any more. The former things have passed away. Revelation 21, 3-5. So does that seem too good to be true? Well, in the following verse, God himself declares, those words are faithful and true. Of course, the end of disease necessarily requires the end of poverty, famine, and war, since these calamities often work hand in hand with infectious microbes, such as the floods that we see at the moment. Now, therefore, Jehovah assigns this huge task to his kingdom, a heavenly government in the hands of Christ. In answer to millions of fervent prayers, this government will come and it will ensure that God's will is done on earth. You can find this in Matthew 6, verses 9 and 10. When can we expect God's kingdom to come? Well, in addressing that question, Jesus foretold that the world would see a series of significant developments that would provide a sign indicating that the kingdom would soon take action. One of these features, he said, would be the outbreak of pestilences in one place after another. Now you find these accounts in the Bible at Luke 21, verses 10 and 11, Matthew 24, verses 3 and 7. Now the Greek word for pestilence refers to any deadly infectious malady. Now the 20th century certainly saw horrendous outbreaks of pestilence, didn't it? Despite all the advances of medical science. Now, a prophecy in the book of Revelation, which paralleled Jesus' words in the Gospels, depicts several horsemen accompanying Jesus Christ when he assumes power in heaven. Now, interestingly, the fourth horseman rides a pale horse and he sows deadly plague in his wake. You'll find this in Revelation chapter 6, verses 2, 4, 5 and 8. A look at the death toll from some of the major infectious diseases since 1914 confirms that this figurative horseman has indeed been riding. Now, the worldwide suffering from deadly plague provides one further proof that the coming of God's kingdom is near. Mark 13, verse 29. Although medical science has succeeded in rolling back the tide of infectious disease for a few decades, a new tide begins to threaten us. Clearly, we need a superhuman solution to solve this problem once and for all. Our Creator promises to do just that. The prophet Isaiah assures us that under God's kingdom, no resident will say, "I am sick." Furthermore, God will actually swallow up death forever, and the sovereign Lord Jehovah will certainly wipe the tears from all faces. You'll find these accounts in Isaiah 25 verse 8 and 33 verses 22 and 24. Now when that day dawns, disease will have been conquered for all time. If you would like a free home Bible study at a time and place to suit you, please navigate your browser to jw.org and follow the links online. Thank you for listening.